Hi everyone, welcome back to another edition of Scrapping Scotland. You're very welcome along with me today. Today I'm going to scrap down a stacked hi-fi system. So if you don't know what a stacked hi-fi system is, that's a stacked hi-fi system. Okay, so it actually comes in separate parts. I do believe there are certain parts of it working, but most of it isn't. So I've tried to tinker with it and get it all working, but I just can't seem to do it. I don't actually have all the leads for it either. And I don't have a set of speakers for it. So it's going to get turned down. So it's a Kenwood. Actually a nice unit when you look at it. Kenwood's quite a good make when it comes to musical hi-fis. So I'm going to take it apart, part by part. I'm going to do it as quickly as I possibly can, and see how long it takes us to do it. So hopefully you enjoy this one. We'll do it bit by bit, and we'll try and do it as quick as we possibly can. Okay, so I think there'll be a couple of nice boards maybe in this bottom unit. The bottom unit, if you look at it from the side, is actually 2 units. Okay, so that takes in the amplifier, and the bottom unit is, I think that's a radio, yeah. Then we've got the compact disc player, we've got a cassette player, we've got the tuner, and then we've got the turntable at the top. Okay, let's get down to scrapping it down, guys. Okie dokie guys, we're going to start from the bottom and we're going to work our way up. So this is, as you can see, this is our radio and an amplifier. Okay, so we're going to get into this, get it taken apart, and we're going to see what's in the inside. Okay, so we'll start on the base of the unit. See, lots of screws. We'll get into them and get them all out. Okay, that's them out of the base. Next, we'll take the ones off the back. I'll get this up a little bit for you. Okay, lots of screws there. Hopefully that means holding on lots of goodies. But there's only one way to find that out. I'm just going to quickly check the little feet at the bottom of it just to make sure there's no other hidden screws on that. Just really grab them with a set of pliers and see if they come off. Or yeah, they come off nice and easy. Just a bit of plastic. So nothing there. We'll remove them though, because I want to separate the plastic from our metals. Really do need to tidy up the workshop, because it's a mess. Okay, got the little plastic feet on the front there as well. Just plastic rings round them as well. They're not brass rings. I know they look like brass, but they're not. Okay, so we've got all the screws out there now. We do have some on the side. There's 3 down this side and there's 1 on this side. And it'll be the same on the other side of the unit. So again, we'll just get them off. Okay, that now is all the screws out. I'm dying to get this done because it just takes up so much space, as you could see. So now we'll try and pull the front of it off. Okay, that will release it nice and easy. Oh, one little hidden screw. Well, I say hidden, it was in plain sight. Hidden in plain sight. And wants to jump out the box as well. Okay, so metal black plate, just steel. That to one side. Cover itself is steel. So we'll just flatten that down. Stick it on the floor and stand on it. Makes it nice and flat. And then we've got the front side to take off. Disconnect anything that's keeping it on. Okay, so there's our front board. This is our front panel. Okay, and this is the board that sits behind it. So scrum some screws to get off there. Okay, now to get the board out, I'm going to have to pop the dials off. So we'll do that. First dial. Second dial. Now it's still held in with a couple of little nuts. So we will unscrew them. Just needs a little quick loosen, and then we can unscrew them with the fingers. Okay, they are not magnetic, so maybe aluminium, maybe brass, we'll check that out later. With everything, guys, and the metal that comes off, always give it a little test, especially little nuts and screws. Obviously the bigger items you should be able to tell fairly easily if they're aluminium or brass, just by the weight. Okay, so front panel off, just plastic, no metals on that at all. Okay, we'll put that to one side, and that gives us our first board. So this board, not a lot of value on it. We've got our little tactile switches. We've got an IC chip here and an IC chip here, but mostly switches. These ribbons aren't gold plated ends, so we stick them off, and you can just stick them in your insulated copper wire. Okay, so that's one board. What I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm just going to show you the boards. I'm not going to scrap any of the boards out. So that's our first board out of this one. Okay, the scrapping out of the boards will come at a later date. Okay, couple of screws on this front bit. Now I've taken the plastic panel off. Now should just be holding this metal frame onto the rest of the unit. Okay, we do have as well a couple of bits here that again have these nuts on them. So we're going to have to loosen them, take them off as well. Okay, just a quick loosen. We'll pull off the knobs that are attached. Usually I find with these little knobs as well, they're usually aluminium. Okay, unscrew these. Okay, magnet test, it's again not magnetic. Okay. So we'll look at the board itself now. Let's see if it's attached to anyone else. Don't start just pulling at things and breaking things, so you probably say, why not? Who cares if it breaks? Well, fair dues and a fair shout. Okay, we'll give it a little pull and see. Let's bring you down with us. Okay. Okay, as always, when you pull something and it doesn't go off, it's usually because there's another screw. Yeah. There's one thing I'm absolutely fantastic at, guys. It's missing screws. I seem to have a God-given talent for that. Okay, so cut the cable ties. Just unclip them. Just pull this off. Can't. Let's just snip it anyway. Trying to do this quickly. Won't take too much time. Okay, so a couple of little jacks on the front here. That's one way to get that one out. Do the same on the other side. Okay, that's that one. So another steel plate. It's quite a heavy one, that one. There's a little jacks, as you can see. Gold plated jacks. Okay, and these are all aluminium as well. Okay, a couple of little IC chips on that board as well. So for such a small board, a little bit of gold, a little bit of aluminium, and a couple of IC chips. Can't be too bad. Okay, we'll stick that to one side. The other little board I took there from the other side as well. Where did I put my steps? Don't know. That's another thing I'm absolutely fantastic at, guys, is misplacing my snips. Okay, so there's the other one. Again, nice gold plated jack at the end there. Okay. Righty, so now we've got the main board. So as you can see, a couple of things right away bring us the attention here. So we've got a couple of nice big bits of aluminium. Another nice big bit here. And we've got a really big transformer here as well. Looks like another smaller one here. So that's all good. Let's try and get this stuff out now. Separate it from the base metal panel and have a bit of a closer look. Got to have the tools, guys. Got to have the tools. And if you don't have the tools, then usually the hammer's the only tool you really need to get everything out. But that does make a mess, and it does just ruin the boards, and it just makes it that little bit harder to get everything off nice and clean. Okay, so this whole board I think now will come out. Again, yeah, there is another screw. Time after time. Okay. So that's that one big board here. Now it does look like I can probably just pull these other pieces off. Looks like they've got a couple of jacks. There we go, that's the first one off. We'll separate it. So next board. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 IC chips. Little one in here. Some wire. Not really a lot of value in there. Okay, a little IC chip there as well. On this side. a couple of little partial capacitors, and on the bottom and the back side, sorry, there's absolutely nothing. Okay, some jacks there as well. Those jacks can be brass, so do check them out. A little IC chip on there as well. That's next one for our boards. Okay, on this one, let's just snip these so it's nice and easy. Have a look at them. Let's see, all of these cables will all go in my insulated wire. Okay, so little board there. Doesn't look like there are gold pins inside it, so that's no value in that one at all. Not for me anyway. Waste my time with that one. Okay, let's get this other one off. Okay, so as we can see, a lovely big copper heatsink attached to a couple of transistors on this side. So that's nice. This is a little switch mechanism here, so you'll get some copper inside here, and as I say, it's a switch, so inside there will also be a little bit of silver. Okay, so they're great. It's lovely, kind of like fine hair copper that's in these things, and a couple of nice big IC chips on that one as well. Okay, so that's a nice little board. I do like the copper heat sinks, so they are great, and it builds up your not copper heat sink, aluminium heat sink, and it does build up your aluminium pile quite quickly when you get lots of them. We will try and remove this from our board, just so the board's a little bit easier to manage. There we go. We'll take off the little bits of card that were behind the transistors, just to clean it up a little bit. And there's our first nice bit of aluminium. Okay, lovely. Okay, stick that in our aluminium pile. And here's the board without the bit of a better look at the board there, without the heatsink on it. Okay, so that's goes with our board pile. Leaves this board with a huge piece of aluminium on it. A couple of nice little copper coils. It's got another switch here. A couple of smaller aluminium heat sinks. Again, these are all attached to transistors. Yeah, you can see on that side, a couple of transistors. Little board here. So to get this one off, again, we just need to take them off of the transistors. So we'll do that. I love a transistor. Part of the real evolution of electronics. Alright, is that us? Can we get that off now? We can. Okay, a little bit of clips attached still. Just take them off. These are steel. And they're making my bit of aluminium look bad. So, lovely big piece of aluminium there. Okay, again we can just take the little bits of cardboard that were backing the transistors off. There we go, lovely chunk of aluminium. Okay, that's down in our aluminium pile. take a look at what's left on our board. So again, the key things I've already called out: these nice copper coils, the switch, the couple of aluminium heat sinks here, a couple of transistors, a couple of little partial capacitors in there, a couple of bridges here. That's about it. Okay, and again, like I say, these things, nice if they're gold plated, sometimes are, not on this one. So just check if they're brass. Okay, stick that again with our boards. This has got about 4 decent sized boards and a couple of small ones out of there. A couple of metal steel brackets. Stick them in our steel pile. And then we come to the biggies, okay? The big transformer. These are heavy. Okay, so let's try and get these out. Kinda what I like most about scrapping is finding things like this. Love a copper motor, love a big transformer. Yeah. Oh, he's a big fella. Let's get a couple of these cable ties off. Just try to stop me getting to my treasure. Okay, so little board attached to that with, as you can see, some fuses there. There's a nice piece of copper going round the outside as well. That is nice copper. A nice copper sheet going around the outside. And then inside there, we've got lovely copper in that steel as well. I'd have to get down kind of deeper into this to see how easy it is to take the metal fins off. Obviously inside here is metal fins. Sometimes you can just crack them with a hammer and it'll all come apart. Other times, you know, you have to take each fin off one by one. So first of all, we will separate the board bits on the outside. So easy we can do that. Not really too concerned about keeping them or anything like that, because all I want off of them is the fuses. Okay, I'll put the fuses in my fuse boxes, my fuse pile. Okay, little bracket here, clean up some of our screws. Don't want to drop this one on your toes, guys. Very flat toes, because it's a heavy boy. Okay. What I'm doing here is I'm just snipping off the solder that attaches the copper wire to these little boards. Okay, so that's one side nice and clean. Second side's got another little fuse there as well. Get that one out. A little bit of wire as well, but I'll leave that snout. And then once again, just snip the solder off of the end of those copper wires. Okay, so now we've got the outer case. It does look like it's got a little weld. That's fine. Sure you can break past that. little bit off. Now we can unpeel that. Back on itself. Okay, and that's just steel. We'll put that into a square. We'll flatten it down. We'll just tread on it. Try and flatten it off. Okay. Into our steel bin. And now we can see the copper sheet that goes round the edge of this. There's a little bit of solder. That's fine. That's not going to make it dirty copper or anything like that. This will still just be number 2 copper. Okay, so we'll try and come in where the solder is and try and break it, but we'll just snip it. That's a better idea. We'll just snip it. Okay, snips aren't quite big enough to snip it all the way, so coming to the other angle. Okay, there you are, a nice copper ring. Do the same with that, we'll just flatten it down, give it a wee stand on. Make it nice and flat. Fold it over and do the same again. Okay, there's our little bit of copper. Okay, decent wee bit. Let's give it the old magnet test, which I do. Yeah, you can't see my magnet, but I'll show you my magnet. Here is my magnet. It's a big fella, okay. All taken from disk drives. Okay, so there's our first piece of copper. And then we've got our big transformer now. As you can see, it is welded along the side, yeah. So that is going to take a little chisel and a hammer and a good smackaroo, okay. And hopefully that will take that apart nice and easily. We'll try and get this bottom plate off it first. Just give that a wee smackaroo. Hopefully we can wedge something in, pull the rest of it off. I think this will be welded at the bottom as well, so these can be a real pain. In fact, you can see it is welded, so that is going to be a real pain. I might actually tackle this one later because I don't want to take up too much of your time with me messing around with a transformer. So look. Just try to hit the welds and try and break them. Okay, that doesn't seem to be happening, so I'm just going to put that to the side at the moment. Clean up here. This is going to be another kind of transformer in here, but I think that's going to be encased in like a rubber solution, kind of hard rubber, which makes it quite difficult to get to. Let's have a look, see if we can crack it all open. There's a little fuse there as well, take that off. Another little fuse on the other side. And I'll switch on this one as well. What I'm actually going to try and do is just going to break it off from the bottom. See if we can get to it that way. at least see if it's encased in this rubber kind of solution. And then I'll know if I can take it apart now or if it's a job for another day. Well, I'm liking seeing these signs of these solder pieces at the bottom. Doesn't feel like it's copper they're soldered to, but what it is telling me is hopefully it's something nice and easy inside to get to, and we should be able to crack it open. Okay. Aha. Okay. Yeah. As I thought, as you can see, it is encased in rubber in the inside. Okay. You can still get to it. You just have to break the rubber seal. Take the kind of rubber off it. And then from there, just try and break into the copper piece. It is a transformer, so I'm thinking it's, you know, inside it, it's going to be cleaner. And it's maybe just kind of rubbered on the outside. I know there's a reason for them doing this. I don't know what that reason is. I'm sure it's some sort of either insulation or I don't know. I've not got a clue actually why it's rubbered inside, but unless it's waterproofing or something like that. But I'll tell you what, guys, it's a real pain because you know there's nice copper in there, and it just makes it that much harder to get to. And I like things to be nice and easy to get to, you know. But unfortunately, that's not how it goes with scrapping. It's never that easy. Okay, so it seems like what I anticipated in terms of it's just rubbered round the outside, and actually I seem to be able to pull that rubber off quite easily. So there we go, guys, that's a little bonus right there. Okay, a bonus. We love a Brucey bonus. It's nice to see it nice. Okay, so great that we can do that. We can get this off, and that'll be another little, as I say, a bonus transformer for us. I'm doing it now because I'm just I'm worried that if I leave it, the rubber will go harder because now it's exposed. It might not, but I'm not going to chance it. While it's nice and soft, I'm taking it off. Okay, so probably not the best thing for viewing, but got to do what we've got to do, guys. This is all about recovering those metals. Making a complete mess of the place like when I'm doing it, but can't have everything. Sometimes there's got to be a mess. Okay, it does look like there's a weld on the edge of this one as well, which can be a pain, but I think with the welded ones, like I say, if you break that weld, it just makes it nice and easy to come apart. So that'll do for that one in a moment. Put that there with the other one. Put the board out of the way. Empty the crap off the base metal plate. Okay, there's one kind of bracket coming off it. And we'll put that in our metal pile. We'll again just make that nice and flat, so we'll stand on it again, and we'll take the edge pieces out rather than in, because I've got lips on them, which means it wouldn't fold properly. So now we take it out of the way, like that, yeah, rather than folding it in with these little lips on it. Okay, so that's for our metal pile as well. Our steel pile. And that, folks, is the teardown of the first part of our stacking system. I'll bring you back up a second. Oh, I'll get it right. There we go. Okay, so that's part one. Okay, what do we get from part one? Got a couple of nice things. Okay, so we got a huge transformer. Yeah, it's a nice big transformer. Yeah, was surrounded by a nice piece of copper as well. We've got a little transformer. There'll be a nice bit of copper in there as well. We've got plenty of boards. Okay, we've got one here with our switch. We've got one that I've kind of broken up a little bit that had our fuses. We had this board, contained a nice big bit of aluminium. We had this board, had another bit of aluminium. Nice switch on that one as well. This board, IC chips. This little board, and this little board with our little jacks in it, and gold plate jacks at that. And we had our front panel board, which got our tactile switches. Okay, so guys, that's part one. Thank you for tuning in. Part two, part three, and part four are coming. So please hit that like button, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you've not already done it. Let's get the subscriptions, if I can say it properly, the subscriptions up, guys. Okay, I've been doing this for a little while now, and we're hovering around the same kind of mark, so let's try and get those subscriptions up. Share it with your communities if you can, please. I would really appreciate that. And we'll see you on part two. Bye for now.